What's happening? Andy here. I'm joined today by AJ Brazel of Clover. How are you, AJ?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. Wanted to find out what's happening with Clover. Haven't checked in with you on a video. We did just see you a couple weeks ago in Boston. You guys were at the IBPI conference, and I think also BTA maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. I was personally at the IBPI conference. I left a little bit early because I had a personal thing that I had to attend to. So one of our reps followed up and went out to BTA for me, and yeah, we were there for the entire show.
Great week. Great week. IBPI had some awesome speed dating. I know you were sitting at those tables for quite a while, and then the Fenway game, the Boston game, which was a lot of fun, and then BTA was really well attended. So it was their national conference. It was a really good one. So they've got another one coming up in a few weeks down in North Carolina. I'm sure we'll be seeing there. And I thought maybe let's just start with, for those that don't know Clover, just give me the 30,000 foot view. Tell us who Clover is. Tell us what you do for them.
Yeah, so Clover is a remanufacturer of print cartridges. We also provide our customers with a full line of both refurbished and OEM printer parts, and we're also dabbling in some other categories as well: IT supplies, ITAD, computer server parts. And as you'll see over time, we're continuing to diversify into other categories. We really want to support a green infrastructure. We want to make sure that everything that we sell is in a green product. So continue to look for us to expand our offerings with more recycled electronics, and just kind of allow our dealers to have a full breadth of products to go to market with that line up with a lot of companies' sustainable goals. And
Excellent.
I'm our senior vice president of sales in terms of the dealer channel. So I work with all of our U.S. dealer customers through the team that I oversee. So anybody that is not one of the big office supply superstores or OEMs that's buying product for resale, that all funnels into the team that I work with.
Awesome. And I did just see Jim up at one of the stops that we had during the ride for Jillian. Geez, we had 10 stops. I can't remember which one he was at. I think I'll think of it in a minute, but he was there. He stopped in, so it was great to see him. You guys have been unbelievably generous over the years with donating multiple Harley Davidsons to our charities for that Patriot Pack ride that I'm involved with. So always great to see you, and thank you so much for all you've done to just help the global community and with your generosity. And so there's three things I thought we could talk about today. One you sort of just touched on. We'll dive a little deeper into that. The diversification, obviously a big message with the dealers. Sustainability, another huge message in our industry, right? That's good. That's just becoming increasingly important as we move forward. And the big one is, the elephant in the room. You can't go anywhere without hearing a big smile. But you know what I'm going to ask you? Let's talk about slave labor. Let's talk about what's happening in our industry. The first half of this year, we got hit with some really interesting news. One of the major suppliers got put on a DHS list. And let's talk about the impact to our industry and just what's Clover's. Where do you guys stand with all this?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna, as a lot of the dealers that I've talked to in the last 6 months or so, or however long it's been, have realized I'm not gonna speak ill of my competition on this forum. But what I will say is that Clover is very much open for business, and we obviously have seen an influx of interest in working with us post incident, and we've got a lot of new customers coming to us looking for us to kind of help them bridge the gap, continue to sell an aftermarket product that their customers can feel confident in using, while also making sure that they've got a product that is in compliance with the federal government right now. And the Clover product is going to do all of that for our dealer community, and for anyone that wants to resell an aftermarket or remanufactured cartridge. I can say that for years we've gone up against some of the Chinese product, and the price points are obviously something that we can never touch. And this just kind of shined a light on why we can't touch them, because obviously you can't compete with $0 labor costs. But I can, confidently say that the product that we have gone to market with is 100% in compliance with the federal government. We do all of our manufacturing in North America. We've removed any build at this point that's going to be sourcing product from Nine Star, and anything that's coming in to go into our product or our cartridges is safe. So we are open for business, and we are aggressively looking for net new customers that may not be comfortable continuing to sell product from where they're selling, because people don't want to put their businesses, their customer base, their livelihood in jeopardy. And we want to help you guys continue to pursue the goals of your organization, and we want to help people grow. So we've been lucky that. Not lucky, we've been working hard, and we've seen a lot of success as a result of this, but I think it's still kind of the jury's out, and we're going to, it'll be interesting to see how things evolve over the next few months as this continues to mature. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if you have any follow-ups as a.
Yeah, I mean, it explains a lot, right? It's there are price points that you could never get to, right? But it is interesting because this was obviously a competitor of yours, but it's also a partner, right? Like you mentioned that you've had to go and source things in other places, and this is not unique to you. A lot of companies in our world, a lot of companies had to make other arrangements and scramble and find alternative ways to meet their needs, because this is a real problem. And when you look at the reason why this is happening, this is something that needs to be fixed, right? I mean, if that's the way that they're achieving those really great costs, then there's a problem with that, and nobody nobody should work for free, right? I don't, you don't, nobody should do that. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are doing well with it. I'm sure it was very challenging. You had to, I guarantee you had to jump through some hoops to keep those supply lines open. And so kudos to you guys for, doing what you had to do. We've all had to do that. I've cut a client. You've cut a client. We've all had to make some decisions, and maybe someday things will change, and maybe we'll be able to revisit things and get things back to the way they were. But for the foreseeable future, that's not happening. So
Yep.
yeah, it's good you guys have done what you did.
And I'll give, and if you don't mind, I just want to, give a couple shout outs and some kudos. I mean, we have a world-class operations team and R&D team. And, I don't know everything that went into making some quick adjustments and making sure that our customer base was unaffected. But from a sales standpoint, we saw very little to no service interruptions. And, and this is what all salespeople want to hear and see, is that we would never have known that any changes were being made if they were being made. So our team has done a fantastic job to make sure that the impact to our customer base is as minimal as possible. And I think our customers and our dealer community has seen that as well. So very proud of the team that, I have supporting myself and the team that rolls up to me.
Very nice. That's always good to have good people behind you. And it just makes, the inevitable hiccup, or this is a little more than a hiccup. You've got to have a plan B. You better be able, in this day and age, and we saw with the pandemic, we saw with supply chain issues earlier, the last couple of years, that you have to be ready to make a change very quickly sometimes. So great job. Let's talk. I don't want to waste the whole time talking about one topic, because I had three, and we'll move into diversification now. By the way, we saw Jim at Impact. I knew I'd think about it before we finished. So I didn't want to insult the guys at Impact. I do remember where I saw Jim. So let's move into diversification and talk about, it's a major theme right now. It's one of the big trends in our world. When I go out and do my speaking engagements, that's definitely one of the things that is talked about. And this isn't diversity. This is diversification. This is looking for those other things in your product line that you could add that are, fit in with what you do. So you guys are a great partner in this, and this is nothing new. I mean, I've been working with you a long time, and at one point you added printers to your line and refurbished printers, and you're constantly looking for new things that you put in your portfolio that the dealers can then bring into theirs. So let's talk about the last couple of years. What are some of the things you guys have added? What are the things that you're helping dealers move into that maybe wouldn't be your traditional print management or break fix copier stuff?
Yeah, and I think it's important to understand the reasoning. Everybody, I don't think anybody's under the assumption that the print industry is going to see massive growth from here on out. It's, especially post COVID, it's been a struggle, and we've weathered the storm extremely well, and still continue to see growth, especially in the dealer community, and very much very engaged still with the print industry, and that will always be the case. So Clover is not moving away from being a print cartridge remanufacturer by any means. But what I want to express to the dealer community, and really anybody else that buys from us, is that it's extremely important for Clover to continue to diversify so we can reinvest in the business, continue to find new avenues to support our growth, and pay our people, and invest in R&D and everything. So we want to make sure that we continue to stay a step ahead of any actual or perceived decline in the print industry, and we've got new things to go to market with to keep our customers excited and keep the reps motivated and excited to have something to sell. And things that, you had mentioned printers, and we obviously sell printer parts and anything from a break fix or service standpoint that our customers can utilize. But what I'm extremely excited about right now, and a vertical that I took over and have been working with a counterpart internally, Donna Salamoni, who's, she's heading up our CSP, computer service part team, and our ITAD, IT asset destruction groups, and they've been very, very successful in the last year. We've seen a lot of growth in those categories. So any dealer that's out there selling HP, servers, computer parts, any IT supplies, all the stuff that falls into those categories, we can be a vendor for you on those, in those categories. We're HP Enterprise authorized. We've got a lot of stock internally right now that we'd love to help our customers out with. So if you're selling that type of product, please, add us into your portfolio of vendors. We'd love the opportunity to help you guys and work some deals together. And we've got a team that's very versed and experienced in that category that can answer questions way better than I'd ever be able to. But the really exciting thing is on the ITAD side. And what we're doing is we've partnered with some large companies that will pull, if somebody does a refresh on servers, IT equipment, all of that product that's coming out of an end user environment has to go somewhere. And as Clover continues to find ways to be a more sustainable company and, help our customers and our customers hit their, green measurements and things that they're trying to accomplish, a lot of the product that comes out of those places that, if they're doing a full IT refresh, needs to be recycled. And there's not a lot of places that do that effectively. So if it's in a hospital environment, we've got we will get rid of and data wipe everything in compliance with, HIPAA guidelines and everything like that. And we, can refurbish and, rework anything that comes out of those environments and resell. And the great thing is that a lot of what we pull out of environments is brand new, inbox, never opened, and we're reselling product. And we'll work with our customers to kind of work on a profit share of some type to help them hit their goals, and so they can get a little bit of revenue out of it, and we can help and we can start selling product to other customers. So it's a very cool project that we're working on. It's growing fast. We've already hit our goal for the year in terms of revenue, and it's going to blow up, and we're really excited about that vertical right now. So,
well, that's an exciting vertical, and you're right. I mean, we're at a point where dealers are using, and you're doing the same thing. You're using the success you're having in print right now to fund your growth and expansion into other areas, because print is slowly declining. It's not going to be where it is in 5-10 years. It's not going to be where it is today. And you've got to look ahead and think about, okay, well, what are we going to do to fill that gap? So I think that's adding some of these products, especially the ones that just so easily fit in, like what you're just describing, right? I mean, if I'm a copier, printer rep, managed services technician rep, and I'm in there at the customer site, I'm seeing all these assets. I'm seeing closets full of stuff they don't know what to do with, right? You can be there to help them, and then it's a service, and you're actually bringing in more money for your operations. So great idea, and so we're going to put at the bottom of the description for this video, this interview, we'll put some links where they can come access some of that. Good transition though, because you did mention sustainability. And before I let you go, I do want to spend some time talking about sustainability. You guys rebranded again. And earlier this year, you came out with a new brand, and sustainability is a big part of that now, right? And you've always been into that and pushed that message. But I feel like, this was a major rebranding, and you took a big step forward. So let's talk about Clover and sustainability for a few minutes.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a secret to anybody because we have put it, front and center in terms of our branding, and we want to make sure that everybody understands that the product that they're buying from Clover is a sustainable product. And I believe that myself and most everybody here at Clover truly feels like this is the future of our company. We've seen more and more companies, not even just the large corporations, the Fortune 500s, but outside of that, have all started to look to put in place sustainability goals in order to appease shareholders and hit metrics that the government is wanting companies to hit. And there's there's no indication that sustainability is going to go away. If anything, it's
No.
going to continue to be put in front of more
And
and more
as
companies.
it should, right? And
Yep.
and to be clear, this isn't you guys didn't just publish like an ad with a bunch of trees and said, we have a new sustainability message. You guys have new programs in place, new things you're doing. And so what would some of these be? What are some of these big steps you've taken in the last couple of
Yeah.
years?
So the first thing is we did, and I might have mentioned this on the last time we talked, but I can't remember. We are Green Circle certified at this point, which is something that a lot of large corporations are looking when they choose vendors. It allows us to get in front of a ton more opportunities just based on the fact that we have that certification. We are the only cartridge manufacturer that is Green Circle certified. We've got a full closed loop service in terms of our manufactured product. We collect the cartridges, we rebuild them internally, and we resell them. And if anything comes to the end of the life where we can't remanufacture off of it, we grind it up and resell the components and the plastic that are remaining from that end of life cartridge. So, first and foremost, some of the certifications that we've undertaken and put a lot of time and effort into getting is going to help a lot of our dealer partners find net new opportunities. But on top of that, we've got a full service recycling program that our customers can use. I just mentioned that we're helping dealers with ITAD and IT asset destruction. We've got a partnership with a company called Print Relief, where we're replanting trees for every 8,333 pages that
Real
come.
trees, not just on
Yeah,
an ad, right?
absolutely. And so those are, there's a ton of programs that we want to help our dealers, and we're willing to brainstorm and work with our customer base to find new ways to identify and tackle opportunities from a sustainability standpoint. So the thing that I'll say that a lot of the reps have said, and it's something that we've been talking about forever, is that it's really a toner cartridge, remanufactured cartridge is the only thing that's out there that is a recycled good that is less expensive than the OEM. If you're buying, paper or anything else, you're paying a premium
You
to have a
do.
recycled product.
Hmm.
Our product is less expensive. So you can hit sustainability goals while also hitting the same goals that your CFO has in terms of cost reduction, which is very rare. And it's something that if our dealers are not talking to their customers about, they need to be, because we can put together full reporting that shows a dealer's customers how much material they're keeping out of the landfill, how much carbon emissions that they've reduced using our cartridges. We can also, if they're part of our recycling program, show the amount of plastic they've kept out of the
You can help
landfill.
them quantify that.
Yes, absolutely. And it's something that a lot of dealers are putting into their own sustainability reporting, and end users are now coming to us asking for it so they can put it into their reporting to shareholders, so on and
Well, I
so
mean,
forth.
that's just such a great thing to be able to communicate, right? We looked at the ads like 5, 10 years ago, and those were the types of message you get from the manufacturers, or even from you. This is, collectively, this is what we've done. But to be able to break it down to that dealer level or even that customer level to say, here's how much, by changing what you did, here's how much impact you had, and how many trees you saved, how much paper you didn't use, how much you kept out of a landfill, how all of that stuff, the carbon footprint. So Very, very cool. And is this a calculator that is on your site, or is this something that your reps work with them? How do they get to that information?
Yeah, our marketing team has developed a very easy to use calculator that anytime one of our reps comes across one of those opportunities, they can easily plug in a couple of things and quantify it. And it's been extremely successful. And now the reps are actually actively looking for opportunities utilizing sustainability metrics, which is very cool to see. So we've won some nice pieces of business this year and before this year, but really we've seen it speed up in the last, I don't know, 18 months or so, based solely on sustainability messaging. So it's real, it's out there, and your customers, if you're watching this, your customers are demanding it at this point. So I'd love to work with more dealers on more sustainability opportunities, and we've got a full team that can help support you guys with anything you need to help you win net new. So.
Well, this is something that dealers, I honestly think should be running with at this point, because get your feet wet now as this next generation and that next generation after them get into that. They are into this. They are much more into this than our generation. We kind of started, I like to say we did start with the blue bins and all that. We kind of got things going, but these next two generations are just, it's a big part of who they are. It's, they're very conscious of the environment, more so I think than we ever were, and they want to make an impact. They want to feel like they're doing the right thing, and the sustainability message hits on all of those points, right? You're literally keeping cartridges out of the landfill, right? And by the way, to your point earlier, you're saving money doing it. And I honestly cannot think, when you said that, I was sitting here, but I can't think of anything else that you can do where it's cheaper when you're using recycled. Like everything has a feel good tax on it. Let's just call it, right.
Yep.
I mean, everything, it's extra work, it's extra effort, it's extra money. If you want to buy the bags that, instead of the Ziploc bags, you want to buy the ones that you can throw into the landfill and they'll melt over the next few years and biodegradable, right? But everything has an extra cost to it, and so for you to be able to bring that message to your customers and say, look, here's something that you can change, you can save some money, and you can feel good about what you're doing. I think that's just, that hits on all points.
Yep. If you're buying our product right now, you're buying something that's going to help you hit sustainability goals, and it's also going to, hopefully make you feel good that you're supporting an American-owned company that
Yep.
pays their employees. So
Yeah.
right now, I mean, I just feel like we've got a lot of good value and a lot of good talk tracks to help our partners be successful in the field.
Excellent. And if you're an IBPI member, right there, you are going to get excellent pricing, right? And I know there's well over 500 dealers that are members, so right out of the gate, you guys have a good list of people that are going to get good pricing on this stuff. But we'll definitely put some contact links into this article below, and just some links where you guys watching this are able to go and just check out some of the sustainability messaging and some of the diversification areas that are offered by Clover that you might want to take a look at, especially if you're already working with them. Obviously, with their toner programs, with maybe their parts programs, maybe take a few minutes and look at some of the other things that your partner Clover here offers, because you guys have a ton. It's always amazing when we do a lot of work for you, and when we every now and then we'll see new stuff just pop on there, new areas, new strategies or I shouldn't say strategies, but new programs, right? New portfolios. So it's like you're always moving forward, and you're completely focused on this channel. You guys are you've been in it for years, and it's you're the big cat in the room at this point.
Yeah, I'm like I said, we're still very interested in growing. We want to be a bigger cat. So anybody that's interested
I don't blame you.
Yep, we want to work with you and help you grow.
This has been awesome. I always appreciate it. You have a lot of good insight for these guys. There's just so much that they're able to do with you. But thank you for taking time to sit down with me today and go over these things. And we'll catch up soon. I'm sure we'll be seeing your team down in Nashville.
Yep. Thanks so much, and thanks for having me on. I very much appreciate it.
All right. Good seeing you, AJ. Take care.
You too.